The Fever are on fire while the Wings are in a free fall. Yep, as much as it pains me to say, the Fever are on an upswing, Dallas on a downswing. It is a very interesting, polarizing teams we are going to be looking at today on what is called Club Hoops Podcast, the number one father-daughter women's basketball podcast. Forgot to say women's basketball last week.
Last week.
I'm Natalie Franklin.
I'm Gregory Franklin.
Yeah, it's just said the number one father-daughter podcast. I mean, still true, but I want to get specifically for women's basketball.
That's right. That's right.
It was a great weekend of hoops, great week of hoops. As we slowly approach this FIFA break, it's getting interesting. Much like when when the Olympics are happening, that's what it feels like, when
Yeah.
Olympics happen. But it's very interesting because as we look at the standings, it's very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, but it's tight because after 8, and so the Dallas Wings are sitting at 8 with 20 wins, and then it goes to the Fever with 15. But 1 through 8, like there's still nothing except for actually let me be real, 2 through 8. Because the Lynx, I think the Lynx are good.
Yeah.
Anything can happen 2 through 8. I mean, these wins are very, very stacking. These wins are very important, especially as we look at the Fever, who is now looking to penetrate that top 4, keep momentum to be able to have home court advantage in their playoff series. So in Dallas, I mean, I don't think they won't make the playoffs because I'm not sure I'm not sure Portland can do that much work to kick them out of the playoffs. But I mean, as far as positioning goes, I don't think you want to play the Lynx your first round.
Yeah.
Right?
And particularly you're not at home. You're not going to have home court advantage in any kind of way. So no, you don't want to do that. But you do have to
Especially,
worry about Dallas losing as well as we go on these last 10 games.
well, yeah, especially as their injuries stack up, which we'll get into. But let's look at the Fever so far. Full transparency, Dad wanted to do a love fest of the Fever today, and I was like over my dead body. But
I
but
just
we
want to
can't.
talk about them. I want to
But
share what my thoughts on what they've done so far. And I got blown out of the water by my producer, editor, director, co-founder in chief.
he just wanted to love all over the Fever today, and I was like, absolutely not. But we can talk about the success they've found in these past, maybe let's say the last 10 games or so.
Yeah.
Definitely on the 4-game winning streak. So, in honor of that, Daddy-O, I will let you start us off with the Fever conversation.
So look, the facts are the facts, right? They're having a great run right now. They're having a great run. That win in overtime against Atlanta, absolutely great. That win against Dallas this weekend, absolutely great. Steph. I know people don't like Stephanie White. I just have never been able to figure that one out. To me, she's coaching, and in order to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. I know you heard that before, but she's coaching. She is coaching this team. She has brought them together where they're playing together. Now, there's still questions on defense, but still, she's managed to work through that. So I wanted to give credit where credit was due. I think that's important in our space, given the platform that we have. But where credit is due, she has that team playing as one unit. So stop there.
You mentioned some people don't like Stephanie White. That would be the Fever's own fan
I
base.
know.
Uh, let's be
I
clear,
know.
trash
I
fan
know.
base.
I know.
And by the way, if the Fever have no haters, I am dead. I have passed on. I've been called home. Uh, with that being said, I can acknowledge the Fever have been finding ways to win.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to frame it. I'm not drinking the Fever Kool-Aid. I'm not saying they're even contenders for the championship because you mentioned these wins they got specifically with Dallas and Atlanta. And a win's a win, right?
Yeah.
That's all you see in the column is a win. They are playing teams that don't know how to finish to their um whatever I was gonna say detriment. That's not what I want to say, but it worked out in their favor. Maybe I should say it that way. We can go to the Atlanta game because that's the most recent. Atlanta, I don't know. They just sometimes act like they have nacho cheese for brains. Like they were in control this whole game. Then the fourth quarter happens. Nobody knows how to score anymore. Layups, Angel Reese was missing layups, not even because of the Fever defense, because of mental errors. And you and I have talked about how she's still developing, and part of developing is being consistent, right? Part of developing is also basketball IQ. Her and Naz Reid, for some reason, felt like they need to start shooting threes with a
No, no,
minute
no,
left in the
not
game.
Nas Reed. Nas Reed.
Naz Hillman, sorry,
Nas
Naz
Hillman.
Hillman.
Yeah.
Naz Hillman and Angel Reese decide, let's start shooting threes with 1 minute left when we don't even need threes. They went away. I mean, she kind of cooled off in the fourth, but at that time, keep going to Alicia Gray. At least have the ball in her hands. Give her touches. We do not want our bigs, if I'm Atlanta, shooting threes with a minute left and we're up at the time. The last play to even send them into overtime. Ryan Howard has Sophie Cunningham on her and shoots. You can drive against Sophie. You've beaten her off the dribble in this game. She decides to shoot air ball. Angel gets a great rebound, misses a wide open layup. Nas gets the rebound, misses a wide open putback. So the Fever, I'm not going to say, I'll say lucked out, but you get what I'm saying. They did a lot of work to tie that game up, right? I can acknowledge that.
They did.
They were hitting their shots, and Atlanta just completely folded in the fourth. They go on to win in overtime, which, again, great win for them. Win's a win. But I more so in that game was focused on how Atlanta completely dropped the ball. Dallas, same thing. Dallas rolled over in their game. But again, I agree with you. A win's a win. These are good wins to have. Good confidence builders as well, if you're the Fever. And that just is what it is. It was disappointing as a Fever hater. It was very disappointing.
Let's see, as a former basketball player myself, the Fever don't control that. They play who's in front of them. And if it's just, I'm not going to disparage their victory by the fact that they're playing teams that go brain dead in the last 2 minutes.
Well, I'm not disparaging their victory. I'm just saying my focus more so on those games, on how the game was dropped by their opponent versus the Fever just played such an amazing game. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, you won a game. You took advantage, like you're saying. You took advantage of the other team not doing what they're supposed to do. And I think that's fine. Also with the Fever, we have to talk about the people that have really stepped up in these wins.
Indeed.
And that is Ty Harrison and Makayla Timpson. I think that's her name. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
That's right.
Because I think in the Dallas Wings game, Ty hit 5 threes. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Off the bench, hit 5 threes. And, Timpson's not going to get you a bunch of points. Timpson's not going to get you a bunch of points, but she is impactful when she's on the floor. She makes the most of her minutes. And I think she's one of those players that's a great example of what you want in a bench player. You don't have to go in survival mode when you take your starters out, right?
Right.
You want to not only keep the momentum, but maybe also be productive. And I think both Harris and Timpson do that for the Fever. And that's huge because we asked the question at the beginning of the season, who's going to be the people that come in off the bench that lift the team while maybe Aliyah Boston's out or Caitlin's out or Kelsey Mitchell's out, right? Or if they're just not able to be the big three for whatever reason, who are the other players that are going to step up? And Monique Billings wasn't doing it.
No.
Lexi Hall, sure enough, is not doing it.
Well,
she didn't have any points.
Well, you can say the same for Sophie Cunningham too. I think
I absolutely will.
I don't know if she had 3 points in that game in the Atlanta game or what, but she was a no-show.
Hot garbage.
But this is why I pat Stephanie White on the back.
Okay. We've always sung Stephanie's praises, except for this season when she got a little crazy. But we've always said that Stephanie White's a great coach. It's the Fever fans that have not been convinced for whatever reason.
They booed her the other night.
trash fan base does trash things.
They
Big
booed
surprise.
her. Wow.
Yeah, but Makayla Timpson, I think she's just been really good for the
Yeah.
Fever.
Yes.
And that's what you need. This is my worry for the Aces, right? They don't have a Makayla Timpson.
No.
I think I would maybe close to Harris, maybe Dana Evans, but
Mm,
Dana's been having
yeah.
trouble
Yeah.
staying healthy this season. The bench is really important, especially when it comes to playoffs, because you don't want your starters playing, such big minutes and getting burnt out, and then the risk of injury. So I will say Fever are becoming more dangerous
Yeah.
because they've found these pieces that really carry them and help maintain leads and help maintain momentum. Now, with that being said, I still stand on business. The Dream were in control most of that game, but I still think Makayla Timpson and Harris make the difference
They do.
against opponents.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, look, and this is what you want to see going into the playoffs. It's a series.
Yep.
You get to play these teams, multiple times, and adjustments are made, after each and every game. So this is what they want to be doing. You want to be rising at this point in time. Dallas, on the other hand, they need to figure this out. I mean, I like Dallas going into the season. I felt like that they should have been in that top four. It hasn't happened for them.
Yeah.
Hasn't.
Yeah, they've fallen off tremendously. They are, I believe, eighth in the league in
Yep.
defense. Their defense is trash. And no shade to Ty, love you down. There's no reason Ty should be hitting 5 threes on you. Like that's not even her thing. Like
Yeah.
she's a great guard, great point guard. Don't get me wrong, but this is not Kayla McBride we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, why are you letting this player hit 5 threes
Yeah.
on you?
Yeah.
They're plagued with injuries right now.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Azzi Fudd's been out. Now you have Jessica Shepard and Aziaha James. So they've had injuries. Obviously Paige is doing her job. Like
Yeah.
Paige is out here leaving it on the floor every night. She had her and Caitlin almost had identical stat lines when they played against the Fever. There's just nobody else stepping up, which let's talk about the elephant in the room, and her name is Arike. Arike's having a decent season, averaging 14 points, 3 assists.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just not making an impact on the floor. What are your thoughts on Arike and how I'm going to use the phrase fits in with this Dallas team and basically her coexistence with Paige? I think that's more maybe the fitting in I'm speaking to.
So we saw this last season as well, and I think we talked about it on an episode, and I kind of said, Enrique will be fine. Enrique will be fine. She just needs to play into whatever this system is. That's when they had, Chris is the coach, obviously. Now he's gone. Now, Fernandez is there. I I'm beginning to think that she's not a fit for the team. But what complicates and I say beginning to think, what complicates this for me a little bit is that you have this first year coach, right? And I'm not sure that he's settled. Therefore, the team is unsettled. I mean, you started the season out not starting your first round draft choice, right? Which was,
Right.
Azzi Fudd. And some said that's okay, that's fine. Then you all of a sudden you put her in and you make her a key part of the offense. I'm not sure how that played, the discussion played or decision played in terms of how Ogunbowale saw that and where she is, mentally in her future, being with that team and her confidence and all that. I still want to support her, me personally, as an athlete in this situation because I think she does have talent and skill, but I think she's checking out and particularly at critical times. At critical times, she's checking out. Paige is not quote unquote ball dominant, but when she's she requires a lot of attention when she's on ball by the defense. So that should open the door for Arike to kind of do some great things, and we haven't seen that. So I guess the short answer is I'm beginning to think that she's probably not a fit for that team. That either they want her to be something that she doesn't want to be, or she's just really frustrated and tired with her role. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, give her credit. She scored 20 points against the Fever, but it's hard to talk about Arike because, like you said, it's not that at least you and I don't think she's a bad player,
I
right? Or
don't. I
that
don't think
she's
that.
just
No.
in the way. I think, like you said, it's like, what impact, what's your role on this team?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what her role actually is, because you got Paige now, who's clearly running point and is a top scorer on the team. AZ is your 3-point girl and
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. You got Jessica. Everyone has a role I can speak to. I think Zaza comes off the bench and gives you that spark.
Right. Right.
Uh, Odyssey may start, may not, depending on what the injury thing is, but same thing with her. But you're not asking a lot from Odyssey or Zaza. Arike, she's been on the team. She's one of the faces of the team, veteran now, but I'm just not sure what you're doing here. Like, what you're, because do we let you take the last shot? Like, are you the last
Yeah.
shot person?
Yeah.
I'm not letting you take the last shot over
No.
Paige.
No. No. Well,
Are you defense? Clearly
and
not.
part of her issue probably is before all these new folks came in, I was the number one option.
Right.
Before Paige, I was number one option. Now Paige is number one option. Before Jessica Shepard showed up and became an all-star, I was, at least number two behind Paige, at least, under Chris last season. Now, I think Jess might be number two, or AZ might be number two.
Yeah.
So she's seeing this kind of slip away from her. Generally a veteran will say, okay, well, fine, if that's the role, that's the role. But you don't a player like that, like Arike, who's the number one option. I think she's the number one draft choice as well. I
I'll
think
fact check.
a first round. I think she's a first round draft choice. But I think a player like that, who has history in this league, who has credibility in this league, who's shown that can be and has been a star in this league. Now all of a sudden there are folks coming in that's moving me, sort of down the totem pole.
Enrique was fifth overall, first round in
Yeah.
2019.
Okay. So fifth overall, but first round take.
And again, like I said, she scored 20 against the Fever. They still lost. And their loss against the Lynx, this is kind of what I'm talking about with Enrique and the role or whatever she's doing. She played 28 minutes. She had 4 shot attempts in those 28 minutes. 4 shot attempts. That, I mean, I think I could probably go out there and get at least 5 against the Lynx. And I'm not even joking.
Let's put it
4
up.
shot
Yeah.
attempts is mighty low, specifically for the player you just got through describing
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and then let me make sure if that was right. If that's another time they played. Sorry, my whatchamacallit, my stats could be all over the place. But if that wasn't the last time they played Dallas, it's one of the times they played Dallas. The last time they played the Lynx, it's one of the times they played the Lynx this year. So it really doesn't matter. But for example, there is a game where she had 4 shot attempts in a 28-minute span. So there's stuff like that she does where, like I said, being the veteran, you're kind of like, well, you're the veteran. You should be. So that was June 9th game. Was it? Oh, sorry. You guys don't listen to me. I'm all confused over here. But my point being is, without these stats, I think we're still, a lot of us out here asking ourselves, Arike, what are you doing here? Who do you want to be on this team? And I think the point we've kind of roundabout to is maybe it's time for the Wings and Arike to move on from each other,
Because
right? Maybe
there are teams that would love to have her.
love to, and I
I
think
guarantee that.
that she'd be a great bargaining chip to get you a solid big
Yeah.
in here, a real big that can make an impact. Even if you had like we were talking about the Fever, a Timpson, right?
Oh
Someone
yeah.
who can come in, clean up the boards for you, just give you a spark off the bench or something like that. Uh, with their emphasis on defense, right? So obviously you have a defensive problem and you need to get more defensive players in here. And again, this is no disrespect to Enrique as a player. It's just I'm not seeing your longevity with this team, with this system, with you and Paige and AZ. Like you said, I'm just not seeing it.
Well, when I look at that team and I see a situation like what's going on with Ogunbowale, I think it's coaching for me. It's the coaching staff had made some decisions and shared those decisions with her, and they chose to play her a certain way, and I just see when I see that kind of a performance drop, I generally think it's intentional, either by the coaching staff or by the player themselves. But she's still in my mind. I'll still defend her. In my mind, she still has something in the tank and she can still play. But there's something on that team that's saying to her, here's your role now.
Well, yeah, we saw it. Well, we saw it last year too, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it. I mean, I'm with you on it's coaching, but it's coaching to the standpoint of here are the pieces we have, and here's what we need you to do.
Yeah.
And like you said, Arike's this is a new territory for her. She's not used to not being the guy, right? And the ball
Yep.
running through her,
Yep.
all the plays running through her. And I think it's been an adjustment that has it's been an experiment. An experiment that hasn't quite worked. By the way, that game was the last game. It was August 9th, and she only scored 5 points.
Yeah.
And I'm more so the shot attempts for me. What are you doing out there? That's a cardio game. That's you just out there doing cardio.
Yeah.
4 shot attempts is quite insane. When they played the tempo, she somehow had 21 point. Oh, she had 21 points because she shot 14 free throws. She was only 4 for 12 from the field. That's an interesting. It's very. What's that kid from the Lakers? Austin Reeve. Very Austin Reeve of her.
Yeah. Say that stat again. She did what again? Say that again.
She had 21 points, but she was only let's see here. I'll tell you exactly. She had 21 points. She was 4 for 12 from the field goal, 0 for 5 from 3-point, but she was 13 from 14 from the free throw line.
Wow.
I mean, way to get to the line, but like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah. Yeah.
very Austin Reeve, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Um, she can't shoot she hasn't been shooting the three well at all. Again, not the biggest deal, but again, I'm just trying to see how does that help the wing? How does your style of play help the wings? Again, they played the Valkyries on August 7th, and she again only had 5 points, 2 for 10 from field goal, 1 for 6 from 3-point. Shot no free throws. Like this is just we're all over the place.
Yeah.
They play the Valkyries again on tonight, actually, Monday. What is today's date? Monday, August 17th. And then they play the Fever on Thursday. They've got a rough week.
Got a rough week. They got a rough week. Ooh.
I don't think they're winning either game. I'm sorry. Especially if the injuries are what they are. I just don't see it happening. And I think the Dallas Wings will end up at number 8 because we can just touch on really quickly. We've got the Mystics that are just doing so well.
Yeah.
They have the identical wins with the Mystics. I do see the Mystics winning more games and maybe moving up even slightly in their standing. Talk to me just really quickly about what you've been seeing in the Mystics.
Well, they're a young team. I think they have some name that they call themselves.
Young hoes.
Okay, something like that. They're a young team, and I think they're growing up rather quickly.
Yeah.
We love Sonia Citron. We definitely, love Kiki.
Yep.
We're seeing maturity come from them for sure. But my player on there that's key is Shakira Austin.
Yes, absolutely.
Their defense travels exceptionally well. I mean, they play well defensively at home and well defensively on the road. They're probably not as offensively potent as they're going to be once they start maturing even more. But they've found a way to win, and defense has been key. Then they pick up Benijah Laney Hamilton, a vet that has playoff and championship experience, to settle these young ladies down on the court, in the locker room, and wherever. So I see that team that we once thought, I know you and I thought about this, that was rebuilding, because you remember they made some key trades and let some players go last season, and we said, oh, they must be rebuilding.
Yeah.
I think we see a team that once was rebuilding and had that rebuilding tag. Maybe they're there. Maybe rebuilding is over now. Maybe they're actually there now. But we're
Right.
seeing a team play. And I know in last season I was a little rough on the coach, but I'm seeing a coach. Everything is clicking for them right now. So they're up and coming, and they may already be there, as Mr. Deion Sanders would say. We're not coming, we're here.
We're here. We're
So
here.
yeah,
You're right. They were in striking distance of the playoffs last season and made some significant trades. And we're like, oh, rebuilding. But like I mentioned, I don't know if it was last episode or previous ones, uh, WNBA teams don't rebuild that long.
no,
It's not like the NBA where a team like mine, Sacramento Kings, have been rebuilding since I was a senior in high school. WNBA teams, especially in this culture of win now systems, they do not spend that much time rebuilding. Maybe a season, and then it's
yeah,
off to the races
yeah,
after that.
yeah.
They have been playing very well. Their strength of schedule seems pretty good from looking at it. Toronto, they got to play. The Lynx is probably their toughest opponent. After that, it's Portland Fire, Phoenix Mercury, Sparks, Sky, Fever. That's a tough one, but the Sun and then the Sky. So they could,
That's the last 10 games, right?
yeah,
Okay.
they could easily move up a couple notches. So and make some noise in the playoffs. I'm not sure how far they'll go, but they will make some noise. They're a tough team. They've got a great bench. And like you said, because they are young, they're just going to get better each and every year. And
Yeah,
Shakira Austin is
yeah,
she's just really turned it up, turned it on. Like
yeah.
I see her being an all-star next year. I'm sure she'll make some all NBA, all WNBA teams this season. Just a really great team to watch. And it's just unfortunate that Dallas is having the woes that they're having, but it's nice to see another team like the Mystics have the success that they've been having. And the Fever have been having their success.
Yay.
Yes, totally. I was just so disappointed to see that Evil defeated the lemon pepper capital of the world.
Yeah, the very city that's known for lemon pepper wings on strip clubs, right? Yeah.
The lemon pepper
Next to Las
capital of the
Vegas.
world.
Next to
Yes.
Vegas, right?
But I want to say I think if the playoffs ended today, the Fever and Dream would be playing, and that's a good series. I think
That's a good series.
they give us really good
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
really good entertaining games. Trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, I will say this just as a little note: Aces have that same problem that kind of I won't say that Dallas has, but Aces' problem is the same problem they had at the beginning of this season with they don't have a strong bench.
They don't.
That worries me as they go into the playoffs. They once again will be relying so heavily on Asia Wilson or so heavily on Jackie and Chelsea to show up that there's burnout or injuries or you just can't get it done, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I worry about them from the standpoint of Asia, Jackie, and Kelsey are going to be playing in FIBA. So
Yeah,
they're not getting a break. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you said, not only do you have to log big minutes, during the regular season, short the playoff push and all of that, because you don't have a bench to rest folks, but you're gonna go away when a good bit of the league is going to be resting. And even though, Caitlin and Boston will be playing in FIBA as well, they have bench relief waiting for them when they get back.
yeah, yeah.
They don't have to log big minutes to finish out the rest of the season. So, that dynamic puts the Aces in a very, very, very tough spot because you can't load management and Asia and Kelsey and Jackie, too many games going toward the end of the season. So
Especially because, like I said, so tight
it's
record
tight.
wise.
It's tight.
And you gotta look to the top two. Minnesota, it only has Fee going to the FIBA.
Yeah.
And she's been injured anyway.
He's
So
been resting. He's been injured, resting all season.
she's been resting all season. To be honest, we'll probably get some more rest over
Yeah.
there in FIBA.
Yeah.
No shade. But I think the Aces are probably I'm gonna say hurting or more affected by this FIBA tournament than the other teams
Yeah.
in the league.
Yep, yep. So it's again these last 10 games will be telling. Um, First round of the playoffs will be telling. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some upsets in the first round.
Right. I just want to go back to the Wings real quick before we sign off when I talk about defense. They also, just to point to more why their defense is so bad, they give up almost 100 points a game in all these losses.
Yeah,
Like that's another thing to note another proof of defense not being had is the points they're giving up. But again, I think what we have to keep in mind too, to give Dallas some grace, Paige is only in her second season. period. Like you said, the coach over there, it's his first season.
Yeah.
Inexperience. AZ, rookie. Jessica Shepard, first time with the team. Alana Smith, as much as I think she is overpaid and has not been playing well, she too is in a new system and battling injury. So they just got a lot of things going on. And like you said, they started so hot. And so the expectations were already so high for them. And I think we have to come down to reality a bit when we talk about the Wings. And it's like, look, they're still Aziaha James, same thing. It's her second season, right?
Yeah.
This is still a baby team, and we're seeing the growing pains. And the vet is not really helping anything, but we're seeing the growing pains. So anyway, comment below. Let us know. Should Arike and Dallas just call this off already? Or do you still think, Arike's still trying to learn new systems, new teammates? What do you think about the Fever being on a roll? You loving it? Do you care? What do you think about, even MVP stuff? Someone asked us about our MVP takes. We actually already did that in a previous episode. We basically said it's Asia, and we put Kelsey Mitchell in there. You put Brianna Stewart in there somewhere in the mix.
I did, yeah.
Well, you got to respect
Yeah,
for
I did.
Stewie. I forgot who else all we had.
Well, we had Olivia in the top 4, I think, right?
We had Olivia in
Yeah.
there, exactly. So we already did that. And it's in one of our YouTube shorts, so check that out. But anyway, what do you think overall about the Dallas Wings and the troubles they've been having? What do you even think about the Young Hoes? aka the Washington Mystics? And then also just anything else about, the Aces and maybe the Atlanta Fever and what they
Not
seem to
Atlanta Fever.
Atlanta Dream. I'm so sorry. The Atlanta Dream. What do you think about how they tend to not close games? All that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Dad, do you have anything else?
You need some rest. No, I don't.
Just a lot of talking.
I know. No, I don't. Thank you for having me on the show. That's all I gotta say.
Well, you are a co-host. I kind of had to have you on the show.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So anyway, share this episode, like, subscribe, comment. And again, thank you for watching and listening, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.